Yes.
Good morning. Let's start the daily current affair discussion. The first topic that we are going to take today is about the unrest in Manipur, violence in Manipur. Okay, from the hill district of Churanchandpur to the capital Imphal, violence in the Manipur's Kuki tribe and the majority Meitei community continued to rage for the last 1 week. In several parts of the states, and after army and Assam rifle deployed to quell the situation, as the situation went under control, beyond control, so the state government requested central government to deploy the army and the paramilitary forces. Okay, and further situation deteriorating led to the Home Department issuing shoot at site orders in extreme cases. Even though the army had been deployed, but the situation remained beyond control. That led the Home Department to state government to issue shoot at site order for the violators. Okay, Manipur is no stranger to violent protest because most of the northeastern states they have witnessed violence since their creation. In Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram, most of the northeastern states have witnessed one or the other form of violence since their creation. And the present violence is another manifestation. Okay, so but the ongoing violence between the Kuki Jomi tribals and the largely Hindu Meiteis, the first time in the 3 decades that the state has witnessed direct clashes between two ethnic groups. In 1993, the Hindu Meiteis clashed with the Bangals, Muslims, and there was horrific violence involving the tribal Naga and Kuki. We saw more than 100 Kuki massacred in a single day. The Naga Kuki conflict is there in Manipur, and in the past, there are instances when in a single day, so more than 100 from one particular tribe, okay, the Kukis, state government launched an eviction drive seen as targeting a specific tribal group. The drive led to protests, but not on the scale of the one seen recently. While the forest eviction and demand for the SC status for the Métis, with the most prominent recent triggers that started this violence, the divide between the Métis and the tribals on a number of issues has widened over the past decade. Why the people are protesting? The participants were protesting the demand for inclusion of the state Meitei community in the scheduled tribe category. Following the April 19th Manipur High Court directive, the High Court in Manipur has issued the direction to issue or to grant scheduled tribe status to the Meitei community who are Hindus. This is being opposed in the state, and that is the reason for the present violence. The recent protests were triggered by the Manipur High Court's direction to the state to pursue a 10-year-old recommendation to grant scheduled tribe status to the non-tribal Meitei community. The court's order has brought the historical tension between the valley dwelling Metis community and the state hill tribes to the point. The tribal solidarity march was organized by the all tribal students union of Manipur against the order of the High Court because they don't want this Metis to be included in the scheduled tribe status. Violent clashes broke out at various places in Manipur during the course of this march. The major communities reside in Manipur. The Metis are the largest community in Manipur. There are 34 recognized tribes which are broadly classified as any Kuki tribes or any Naga tribes, too broadly. Okay, Kuki and the Nagas. The central valley in the state accounts for about 10% of the landmass of Manipur and is home primarily to the Metis and the Metis Pangal, who constitute roughly 64.6% of the state population. This area yields 40% of the state's 60 MLH. The remaining 9% of the state geographical area comprises hill surroundings, the valley, which are home to the recognized tribes, making up to 35% the state population. This area sends only 20 MLA to the assembly. Why does the Metis community want ST status? There has been organized push in support of this demand since 2012, led by the Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee of Manipur. In their plea before the High Court, okay, in their plea before the High Court, it was argued that the Metis community recognized as a tribe before the merger of the princely states. Okay, there has been an organized push in support of this demand since 2012. In their plea before the High Court, it was argued that the Metis community was organized as a tribe before the merger of the princely state of Manipur with the Union of India in 1949. It lost its identity as a tribe after the merger. The demand for ST status arose from the need for preserving the community and shape the ancestral land, tradition, culture and language of the Metis. That is why they need this reservation. Why they are demanding this SC status? Need to preserve the community and set the ancestral land, tradition, culture, language and of the Metis. After the argument, okay, as per the argument brought by the community in the court, the community has been victimized without any constitutional safeguard to date. The Metis has been gradually marginalized in their ancestral land. The population, which was 59% total population in Manipur in 1951, and now reduced to 44% as per the 2011 census data. Where the tribal groups against the ST status of Metis, tribal including Naga, Jomi and Kukis against the ST status of Metis. They comprise around 30% of the state's population. Metis are a dominant group controlling the state and its apparatus. And the claim that Metis need ST status to protest their culture and identity is self-defeating. They feel the ST status to the Metis would lead to loss of job opportunity and allow them to acquire land in the hill and push the tribal out. The Manipuri language of the Metis is included in the 8th schedule of the constitution. Section of the community which is predominantly Hindus are already classified under the scheduled caste or OBC. Okay, so of the Metis community, section of the Metis community which is predominantly a Hindu community, as per the record, so they have been classified under the scheduled caste and other backward classes, okay, OBCs. So both way as scheduled caste and as OBCs. Okay. The this violence, as it is not coming under control, so it needs a sincere effort by the state government and the central government to find lasting solution to this ethnic violence. The next topic that we'll take up. Okay. The next topic is about the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act 2013, POSH, Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. The procedure for complaint against sexual harassment in the workplace. An investigation published in the Indian Express revealed that more than half, 16 of the India's 30 national sports federation do not have an internal complaint committee, a legal requirement under the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act 2013. Because this has come to light in the ongoing strike taken up by the wrestlers about the alleged sexual harassment by the head of the organization. The government complaint committee by the Boxer MC Maricom that looked into the allegation of the wrestler who have been protesting at Jantar Mandir, New Delhi against Bhushan Saran Singh, the BJP MP who run wrestling in India, Wrestling Federation of India, has flagged the absence of the ICC at the Wrestling Federation of India as a major finding. But exactly the law against sexual harassment of women at the workplace. The Sexual Harassment of Women at the Workplace Act, common under the Post Act, was passed in 2013. It defined sexual harassment, laid down the procedure for complaint and inquiry, and the action to be taken in case of sexual harassment. How do the Act come about? In 2013, law broadened and gave legislative backing to what are known as the Vishaka Guidelines, which were laid down by the Supreme Court in judgment passed in 1997. The case in question was filed by women rights group, including one called the Vishaka, over the alleged gang rape of a social worker from Rajasthan named Banwari Devi. Banwari has fought against the marriage of 1-year-old baby girl in 1992 and has been allegedly gang raped as retribution. The Vishaka Guidelines define sexual harassment and impose 3 key obligations on institutions: prohibition, prevention, redress. The Supreme Court directed that they should establish a complete committee which would look into matters of sexual harassment of women at the workplace. The court made a guidelines legal binding. What does the Act say about the complete committee? The Provision of Sexual Harassment Act subsequently mandated that every employer must constitute an internal complaint committee at each office or branch. There are 10 or more employees. They define various aspects of sexual harassment and lay down procedures for action in case of a complaint. The aggrieved victim under the Act can be a woman of any age, whether employed at the workplace or not, who alleges to have been subjected to any act of sexual harassment. In effect, the Act protects the right of all women who are working or visiting any workplace in any capacity. What constitutes sexual harassment under the Act? Under this 2013 law, sexual harassment includes any one or more of the following unwelcome act or behavior committed directly by or by any implication: physical contact and advances, a demand or request for sexual favor, sexually colored remarks, showing pornography, any other unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. In addition, that mention 5 circumstances that amount to sexual harassment. What are the 5 circumstances? Implied or explicit promise of preferential treatment in her employment, implied or explicit threat of detrimental treatment, implied or explicit threat about the complaint's present or future employment status, interference in the complainant's work or creating an offensive or hostile work environment, humiliating treatment of the complainant that is likely to affect her health or safety. What is the procedure for complaint under the Act? It is not compulsory for the aggrieved victim to file a complaint for the ICC to take action. The Act says that she may do so, and if she cannot, any member of the ICC shall render all reasonable assistance to her to complain in writing. Complain because of physical or mental incapacity or death or otherwise, her legal heir may do so. Under the Act, the complaint must be made within 3 months from the date of incident. However, the ICC can extend the time limit if it is satisfied that the circumstances were such which prevented the woman from filing a complaint within the said period. The ICC may, before inquiry and at the request of the aggrieved woman, take steps to settle the matter. Okay. The ICC may either forward the victim complaint to police or it can start an inquiry that has to be complied with complete. Okay. If either the aggrieved woman or the respondent is not satisfied, they may appeal in court within 90 days. What protection is available in Act against a false complaint of sexual harassment? Section 13 of the Act deals with punishment for false or malicious complaint and false evidence. In such a case, the ICC may recommend to the employer that it take action against the woman or the person who has made the complaint in accordance with the provisions of the service law. Okay, so this demonstration by the wrestlers that is going since weeks against their federation head, so need to be shutted out. Okay, to find an amicable solution to the issue and make the sports bodies clean and the sports person 100% committed towards their own domain than being harassed by any authority. Okay, then going next, India EU SEPA Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement SEPA completes 1 year. The historic India EU Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which came into force on May 1st, 2022, has completed successfully 1 year. But in the India-EU Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, a Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement was signed between India and UAE a year ago to strengthen the trade ties between the two nations. The agreement aimed to increase the total value of bilateral trade in goods to over 100 billion US dollar, in trade in services to cover 15 billion within 5 years. Trade by $100 billion and services by $15 billion. Significance of the agreement, keeping in mind with the gems and jewelry sector contributes a substantial portion of India's export to UAE. The agreement is expected to significantly benefit this sector by providing tariff concessions. Overall, India is expected to benefit from the preferential market access provided by the UAE on over 97% agricultural and food products, engineering products, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and automobiles. Review of the first year of India UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership and serves as a declaration to satisfy customs or trade requirements in the last 11 years. The traditionally strong bilateral relations enjoyed by India and UAE received an impetus with the visit of Prime Minister Modi to UAE on 7th August 2015, which marked the an agreement to set up a Skills and India Center in Varanasi to train local youth in logistics, port operations, and allied areas so that they can pursue overseas employment in Arab Emirates. Okay, because UAE has a mass demand or mass crafts in this domain. Fine. Bilateral trade in 21-22 was about $72 billion. UAE is India's third largest trade partner and second largest export destination. UAE's FDI in India has increased over the past few years and currently stands at over $12 billion. Defense and security cooperation, bilateral defense interaction between India and defense dialogue. More recently, UAE is a key part of the India's ocean region dialogue. Both sides take and brought over the former ISRO chief K. Radhakishan to their space agency. Then cultural relations, the importance given to Indian culture by the UAE was further highlighted in the April 2019 when India participated as a guest of honor country in Abu Dhabi's International Book Fair held in 2019. India cinema, TV, radio channels are easily available and have good viewership. Major theatre cinema halls in the UAE screen commercial Hindi, Malayalam and Tamil films. The Emirati community also participated in the annual International Day of Yoga events and various schools of yoga and meditation centers are running successfully in United Arab Emirates. So that means, based on the stepping stone of the political relationship, a strong trade relationship is developing between the two countries, and only time will come when this will again in future this is going to further expand. Okay, so the next topic is about the amendment to the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002, PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. New chartered accountants, company secretary, and cost and work accountant who carry out financial transactions on behalf of their client are now under the ambit of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. This amendment, an activity will be recognized under the PMLA if these professionals carry out financial transactions on behalf of their client, such as buying and selling, including sources of fund of the client, and to record the purpose behind conducting the specific transactions. The financial professional who have obtained certificate of practice as chartered accountants, company secretaries, cost and work accountants would be defined as relevant person or reporting transactions on behalf of their individual clients. The reporting entity shall be expected to maintain the record of all transactions and would be required to furnish these to the Director, Financial Intelligence Unit. Traditional amendment, tax experts said, given the erroneous compliance and low conviction rate under the law, the inclusion of the CAs, CS and CWH was uncalled for. Concern among the financial professionals that they could possibly not just face penalty for non-compliance, but could also have potential run-in with investigation agencies like the Enforcement Directorate. Other recent changes, over a month ago in March, the government had widened the ambit of the reporting entities under money laundering provisions to incorporate more disclosures for non-governmental organizations and define politically exposed persons. But this PMLA Act, the Parliament enacted the PMLA as a result of international commitment to sternly deal with the menace of money laundering, a proceeds of a crime having transnational consequences and on the financial system of other countries. The PMLA Act seeks to combat money laundering in India and three major objectives. Prevent and okay. Then the next topic is about the Food Street Project. The Minister of Health and Family Welfare reviewed the Food Street Project to develop 100 healthy and hygienic food streets across the country with senior officers of the Health Ministry and Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. For the Food Street Project, National Health Mission, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare will provide assistance of 1 crore for Food Street as a pilot project to support 100 such food streets at different locations across the country to operationalize the food street. The grant will be routed to the National Health Mission in the ratio of 60-40 or 90-10 with the condition that branding of this food street will be done as per the FASI guidelines. Financial assistance will be provided for activities such as provision of safe drinking water and washing toilets. This played an immense role in sustaining and shaping the Indian food economy. Therefore, the aim of this project is to encourage safe and healthy food practices among the food businesses and community members, thus reducing foodborne illness and improving overall health outcomes. Other related initiatives, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has taken various steps to improve the hygiene and food safety standards protocols for food street hubs. These initiatives include training of food handlers, independent third-party audits, and certification under the Clean Street Food Hub initiative of the Eat Right India movement. Washington Declaration, the next topic. In news, US South Korea have signed the Washington Declaration. Okay, recently. Okay, so US South Korea signed a Washington Declaration as a nuclear deterrent strategy. What the Washington Declaration? Purpose of the agreement to protect the Korean Peninsula from nuclear attack by North Korea. Provisions: an American nuclear ballistic submarine could be deployed in the Korean Peninsula. A nuclear consultative group would be formed to formulate principle of joint response tactics. South Korea could receive intelligence from US regarding nuclear advancement. The US will strengthen South Korea's nuclear deterrence capability through joint military training programs and an annual intergovernmental simulations. Significance of the declaration. The declaration reaffirmed the non-proliferation treaty, implying that South Korea could not venture into the creation of its own independent nuclear capability and would instead focus on deterrence measures through an alliance-based approach. It also mandated the US President as the only sole authority to use the nuclear arsenal, the US in the event of nuclear confrontation. While the existence of the agreement is based on the security needs of South Korea, the policy reflects big power policies where the interest of the large power takes precedence because the only US which can use this, not South Korea. The declaration makes it possible for both countries to establish a nuclear consultative group as it is there between the US and NATO. It would be possible for South Korea through this group to have more control over nuclear response, related planning and coordination. The Washington Declaration also demonstrated South Korea's seriousness to its objective to become a global pivotal power through its proactive approach. It also mentioned the need for peace and stability in the around Taiwan and status quo in the Indo-Pacific must be maintained, and any unlawful maritime claim, militarization of reclaimed features, and coercive activity must not be allowed. Overall, the Washington Declaration is an important step in the direction of creating a more over and close coordination among the US allies in the Indo-Pacific to deal with not only North Korea but also moves of China and Russia. Need for the agreement. In January 2021, North Korea set forth a plan to add new types of capability to the country's nuclear arsenal. Next year, North Korea started testing more missiles, which forced South Korea and the US to restart large-scale military exercises that were previously halted to incentivize diplomacy. And North Korea responded with more missile activities. North Korea has steadily added to its stock of intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of reaching US cities, most recently testing a solid fuel ICBM and altering its nuclear doctrine to include the option to carry out preemptive strike. In January 2023, South Korea's president said continued North Korean provocation could promote the acquisition of nuclear weapons or push the US to strengthen its extended deterrence commitment. Seoul then opted for Washington extended deterrence or the Washington nuclear umbrella in the form of Washington Declaration, because the threat from North Korea went on increasing over South Korea. So South Korea decided to sign this Washington Declaration, by which it comes under the US atomic umbrella. Okay. Why the USA not keen on South Korea having nuclear arsenal? Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. South Korea's nuclear development program was hindered due to US pressure. In 1990, the US withdrew 100 nuclear weapons from South Korea as part of its Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. US made an erroneous assumption that it would deter the weapon production of North Korea by extending South Korea's nuclear capacity. Dilemma for USA. The Nuclear Posture Review 2022 reflects a shift in US narrative, where it is now concerned about progressing nuclear capability of North Korea, because it is raging would hinder the prolonged efforts of controlling nuclear production in the world. The assurance that the US and its nuclear weapon would protect its allies by being responsible for maintaining stability in the region, aligned with the larger goal of non-proliferation. What is the domestic response? The South Korean public is skeptic about US support. A poll by the Chicago Council on Foreign Relations reported that 71% of South Koreans want to build their own nuclear weapon. With an aggressive North Korea in the neighborhood, they would prefer their own deterrent than depending upon any other country, because at the extreme own deterrent is the most advisable option. In the context of public service, emotional intelligence is essential for building strong relationships, resolving conflicts, and fostering trust and collaboration among stakeholders. Emotional intelligence has several key components that are relevant in the context of public service. It includes self-awareness, the ability to recognize and understand one's own emotion, strength, and weakness; self-regulation, the ability to manage one's own emotion, thoughts, and behavior effectively; motivation, the drive to achieve personal and organizational goals and to maintain a positive attitude and outlook; empathy, the ability to understand and respond to situations with greater confidence and resilience. Conclusion: emotional intelligence is a crucial component of effective public service. By delivering their emotional intelligence, public servants can improve their ability to work collaboratively, communicate effectively, and build strong relationships with stakeholders. Coming to the MCQs, Washington Declaration is news which of the following are the sign it. So sign between USA and South Korea. Answer is C. And the following statement regarding River City Alliance Global Seminar. The River City Alliance is joint initiative of the Department of Water Resources, River Development, Ganga Rejuvenation under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. National Mission for Clean Ganga organized River City Alliance Global Seminar this year. It is open to all river cities of India. So here all are correct. Question number 2. Following statement regarding the following statement, optical tweezers. Optical tweezers are scientific instruments that use a highly focused laser beam to hold and move microscopic and submicroscopic objects like atom, nanoparticles, and droplets. Nanoengineering, nanochemistry, quantum optics, and quantum optomechanics. Okay. EU is India's third largest partner, right? India EU companies between partnership first time happened this year. Okay, it is the first year, so completed 1 year. Okay, so only 1 and 2 are correct because signed 2022 completed 1 year, so 1 and 2 are correct. About food street project, it aims at developing 500 healthy and hygienic food streets across the country. So which is correct. To operationalize Food Street, National Health Mission will provide assistance of 1 crore rupees for Food Street, like that. The joint initiative of Minister of Health, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Each, okay, one is only correct. Then comes the following statement: it is an integrated mobile application developed by Indian government for agriculture sector. It provides geospatial data and other relevant information to farmers, policymakers, researchers, and stakeholders in the agricultural sector. This is in this case. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Then question number 7. The following statement: the Meitei community living in Valley want to include the state scheduled tribe list. The demand has been led by the Scheduled Tribe Development Committee since 2012. They argue that being left out of the ST list has caused the community to be victimized without any constitutional safeguard. Okay, so here all the 1, 2, 3 are correct. Recently, the Charnapatan toys in news. So this belong to Karnataka, which got the GI tag. Okay. But the following statement: the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention and Prohibition Act, economically known as the OAS Act, was passed in 2013. That is right, and it defines sexual harassment by law, lay down the procedure for complaint and inquiry and the action to be taken in case of sexual harassment. So it is both 1 and 2. The United States Commission on International Religious Freedom recently released its 2023 annual report. Got to the following statement: highest number of statues of religion freedom across the globe during 2022 is headquartered in Washington DC. Here both are also correct. So here keep on watching every day to the news on a regular basis. Discuss the MCQ that we are discussing the MCQ and long question. So keep on updating to get yourself